Vigilante Wednesday here on the 6th episode of VW Casual, the pop-up stream that I do. Sometimes we have subjects, sometimes we don't. It's a little different than the Vigilante Wednesday show, which didn't happen this week because we had Thursday Night Throwdown instead. See people, a lot of the insomniacs are here. I was talking with the Wake Down earlier, just throughout the chat negotiating a music video. We're saying hi to Brightest Day. Hail Brightest Day, who just recently went over 100 subs. And Pop Culture Republic. Appreciate you guys here. And of course, Just Another Red Shirt, who's not just another red shirt. He's the red shirt. I appreciate him. Appreciate all you guys here who's watching the current stream or the playback. A lot of people do watch these playbacks. And I appreciate it. Please like and share. Sharing is caring. Sharing is indeed caring. I'm going to check the D Live. I didn't do that so well during Thursday Night Throwdown. I did have people in the D Live chat. It's a little easier on VW Casual because I'm not focused on the story as much. Sometimes I have stories, but I can kind of check both screens because I have my D Live in a different browser. I need to just sign into D Live on Chrome. That would be simpler. Eventually, I'll gain that intelligence. But for now, I just appreciate everyone being here, man. Stream Elements bot is here. Yeah, Matt Mardigan showed up. That was cool. A lot of people showed up. Robert Hell had Culture Casino, Nick Weiser, the 70s rock fan. Or is that from Friday? I did two back-to-back group streams, so my head is a big meshed, or it all meshes together. Thursday and Friday. Which to be fair, I'm not sure how many Thursday Night Throwdowns and Yelling at Park Cars I'm going to do. I may take Comics' break with him. If you don't know, because he wasn't on FNT either, Comics division has had hernia surgery. Was successful. Everything's good. So he's going to be out for a few weeks. And hell, my partner in culture crime fighting, VigilanteWilliamson, that's what he says. Fireball Productions, I appreciate it. Yeah, show, hey, enjoy the show. Can't listen to one show love. I appreciate the love. Listen to check out the playback. Check out the playback, Fireball. I'm glad he had a show and stuff like that. Hell. At the pipe bomb down. You have a pipe bomb? Wait now. Hell, Fearing Ice Wolf. Probably more than there in Angola. Appreciate you here. Ogre Squasher, I've been waiting to see. I emailed you. I need to check my email. I hope you didn't super check. I've been saying, hey, man, I just miss you, man. I just miss you being around, right? And I'm like, hey, bro, just always chill and always, because you don't have to, don't feel like you need to pay money. Just show up, bro. You're here just showing up. Oh my God, you did, Sif. Ogie, thank you for being here, man. I love you. I love you like a mysterious benefactor. You're the man. I miss you because you haven't been around, but you don't have to show up with money, man. You don't have to. I am not a prostitute. I love you for your personality, Ogre Squash. I seriously do. Thank you for supporting this channel. 101.60. 100. This is unfathomable, honestly. $101.61 just because he's up past midnight. I hope everything's going good with your career. Thank you so much, man. There are no words to express. And feel free to just show up and just say, hey, man. Just say, hey. Just, for the love. Again, you don't have to, you don't have to be Steven Jackson, so to speak, and spend money just for my time. I really genuinely like you, bro. Genuinely cool. Really cool. And thank you, man. Thank you. And you did respond. Missing shows not following you, promise. I probably shouldn't read this out here. But you've been busy apparently. Okay. You asked about the P.O. box, which I was supposed to get, and I haven't. But I will. You know why I didn't get the P.O. box? Because I'm an idiot. I've gotten into the crypto trap, and I'm trying to buy my way out of it like a dumbass. Because I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't sell when I should have. So I got to ride this wave on down, and all I can think is, we'll cost average down, we'll cost average down. And I overdid that. I'm a dumbass. That's the legit reason. Why lie? I'm not a good liar. A terrible liar. And Robert Ellis AO. I'm going to clip that and use it against myself. Matt Mardigan joke. Okay. I have to watch Brightest Day stream. Matt Mardigan told me I look like I belong to at least 2 militias. To be fair, Matt Mardigan looks like a militia member as well. So he's one to talk. But yeah, I need to check out Brightest Day stream. Congrats again on 100, man. Congratulations, bro. And Hellfimber says Robert, and I agree, Hellfimber. Yins, the king, the man. Says right on VW. Yeah, Matt Mardigan is funny. Yeah, he is. Yeah, been swamped flying. Well, yeah, fly safe, Overswasher. Fly safe. No worries, man. Oh man, just looking at what the company is doing, seems like some hostile takeover stuff. It's almost semi scary when companies do big moves like that. I'm speaking of companies, because I'll get into the topics in a bit. But I am definitely in a different place different place with my personal career. The Bruce Wayne. I call myself Will's not my real name, but Vigilante Williamson, so I go with it. Will's having a pretty decent, at least potentially decent, I should say, career change. Well, not career change, but more of a job change, company change, but it's slight career change. It's in the same space at the industry I worked, but it's slightly different, and it could end up with more income. And the answer to that question, like, why are you asking that question? Obviously, is he high? Jeez, hell Arfar, and hell Tom. But no, I just seeing. I was reading my man Ogre Squash's shirt, or not shirt, Jesus, his email. I'm not high. I'm tired. I'm a little high, a little buzzed, but I'm tired, stressed out and tired. So if I flub things, that's why. And honestly, part of me doing these streams, these pop-up streams, is to get better. But anyways, so personal Will, or what'd you call me? Will V. Williamson. William V. Williamson. So that's what my fake secret identity should be from now on. William V. Williamson. So William V. Williamson may have a little bit of a better job, which may end up with me moving somewhere, which I wasn't planning on moving, but it doesn't seem like it's a negative. And no, I did not get a PO box yet, because I spent all my money on fucking crypto, trying to cost average down. I am in a crypto trap, and I'm just hoping I can get my money back. You're not out of it till you sell. I bought the top on Bitcoin, the absolute top, like a dumb fuck, and that motherfucker has crashed. But I got some other stuff that's holding me up, some of the semi altcoins. In any event, I do not have a PO box yet. That's the moral of the story. And it's cool to see everybody in the chat. Really cool. What are you doing live on a Saturday? Insomnia. Since it's casual, have any thoughts of the Nephilim and Genesis? We'll get to tall people in a bit, but I wasn't planning on that question. And it's funny you say that, man. I don't know if you're a CIA member, but I was watching something on Nephilim. So yeah, that's a scary thing. We're on the same page. You're a CIA member tracking my watch history. Look like, yeah, crypto's taking a dive really the past couple weeks. And so I've been trying to buy my way. If you cost average down, it doesn't end up as bad. And if it does go back up to where it was, I'll be okay. It does always come back to the Nephilim. It does indeed. I think they were supposed to be like 13 feet and shit. So, I mean, people I talk about are not going to be that tall. But yeah, that's as far as the job thing, that may impact the channel. That's why I'm talking about it. hopefully it'll have a net positive because it'll be more money to fund the channel. If ever this channel becomes a little bit more, let's say let's say Ogre Squasher, that amount of money was an average without Ogre Squasher having to spend his life savings just to fund this channel. Let's say that was the average amount. Let's say I was monetized. Then and not just monetized and getting a small amount, but monetized and getting enough to support myself. If I had a much better position, it's easier to save enough for have like to have like a nest egg, so to speak, because I don't trust everything in YouTube land, and so that makes this more viable thing. And also, I'm hoping to have a couple week transition so I can spend at least a couple weeks as a quote unquote full-time YouTuber, part-time. You're held to the producer. He's the executive producer. I need to start putting that credit more. I really do. I need to credit you as executive producer because you actually are, man. But so hopefully that's some upcoming updates on the channel. Also on the channel, how many times you say also? Please don't be a drinking game when I say also or anything that I repeat. Chrissy Mayer will be on this channel and the Culture Crime Fighters on Wednesday. So I'm pretty excited about that. So let's see. Let me check the D Live. No one's on the D Live. Every time I check the D Live, there's no one there. Anytime I forget to, there's people. Oh, are you live? Oh, I guess it's not. Like every single time. Never fails. And yeah, Chrissy Mayer. We may replace her with a black chick though, because she's a ginger. Just for the hell of it. No, I'm joking. No credit needed. Just keep up the great channel. No, you deserve the credit, man. And again, no support needed, man. Just show up and just say, hey, every once in a while, we appreciate you being here, bro. And literally just got home from work. Hell. That's dope, man. Working hard in the city, in the metro area. Spoon, says Chris Island with the craze, with the tick. Hello. And Burger from Darius. And Stop Ginger Eraser. I'm assuming the burgers from Coney Island. Maybe that's just because from Detroit. All right. Kwame Brown. Why do I want to talk about Kwame Brown? You say, hey, it's in the sports world. The hell does that have to do with any of this stuff, Vigilante Williamson? NBA sucks. All this stuff sucks. One, everything's connected. Everything is connected. And two, Kwame Brown, believe it or not, is pretty base. I mean, he's getting a lot of publicity for his videos this past week, going after Matt Barnes, who was a former NBA player, and Steven Jackson's a former NBA player. You may remember, especially Darius and me, Steven Jackson and the Palace and Auburn Hills incident, running in the stands and punching randos. If you don't remember from that, if you pay attention to sports, big homie Steven Jackson has to say he's milked the George Floyd incident is like saying Kathleen Kennedy is a bit bad at her job. And part of it is because he looks quite a bit like George Floyd. He just naturally resembles him. But he's really been in this pro-black thing, this all that, and he's been exposed by Kwame Brown. Like, hey, you've basically made a career about making fun of and being disrespectful to black people. And the main thing, the real interesting point, the reason I'm bringing it to you guys outside of my genuine interest, because I've been binging his videos, is not only has he been doing this for a year, not really being confrontational, but at least giving his political stance. Believe it or not, he's a guy that more likely voted for the orange man, even, and is more of an accountability type guy. And that stuff hasn't really been publicized, but I wonder if that's why that the machine has attacked him so much. That's been the interesting standpoint. What started off as a beef between him and a different podcast, you know what I mean? And if you don't know who Kwame Brown is, he's a guy who was the #1 pick in 2001, I believe, and was thought of as a bust, and he kind of was. He wasn't the best player, but he did last 12 years in the league. And yes, the Malice and the Palace. There's Moonchild. I remember seeing that game live. Hassle in the Castle. We love you too, Tom. TTFN. Not sure. But yeah, So yeah, Kwame Brown, number 1 draft pick, thought of as a bust. And he has been, man, if you follow basketball the past 20 years, he's been the butt of jokes for 20 years. I'm sure I've made Kwame Brown jokes in passing. So apologies, man. Because he brings up a good point. Anyone who can be in the NBA for 12 years can't be a bust. They can be a bad player, but he's embraced the bust at the same time. His channel's called Bust Life. But even he's exposed a lot of the hypocrisy. So what started off as a beef between him and this one podcast, all of a sudden ESPN is involved. All of a sudden TMZ Sports is involved. All of a sudden Charlemagne the God, which you guys may know as the guy who Joe Biden said you ain't black to if you don't vote for me. A guy who, as Kwame Brown has to be, he's been cease and desisted by the guy, has to clarify stars. This guy, not Kwame, Charlemagne the guy is a guy who, when he was 22, was convicted. He pled to the lesser charge of delinquency with a minor, a 15-year-old girl who was apparently drunk. A 22-year-old man. And he brings up, hey, how are you still on air in this era with that sort of stuff? And some of the things Charlemagne the God has talked about with women is seriously disgusting and creepy. Like seriously great, like legit predator stuff. But he's still on air. He's still one of the more popular radio casters, especially in the quote unquote urban black space, whatever you want to call it. He's still on air with the Breakfast Club. And again, like I said, he interviewed Joe Biden. Fimmer has to bounce. Been in 3 streams in 1 day. My man Fimmer, the Ice Wolf. VigilanteWilliamson, good night. Everybody in chat, good night. We got to get Fimmer. We got to get my man Fimmer doing stuff for his own channel. That's a lot of streams for a lot of stuff. And I hopefully, I don't know what Fimmer's sub count out. Let me toss this channel in the chat. Let's see. Fimmer the Ice Wolf. I never have stuff prepared. We got him at 89. Oh, man. We can get him to 100, man. We can get him to 100. Here's Fimmer the Ice Wolf. If everybody in the chat sub to Fimmer, I know a lot of you are. A lot of yous are. If everyone subbed to Fimmer, he would be at 100 subscribers without any video. He'd make a video at 100 subs. Hold him to, well, we're getting you to 100 subs, man. Please sub to Fimmer the Ice Wolf. Please sub to him. I know you say make him do work. I know he actually does work. But hey, he's been doing a lot of other people's streams, man. You got to save some of that energy for yourself, bro. Yeah, The Breakfast Club is a movie. But there's a, if you don't know, a radio podcast. Or I think it's just a radio show. I actually do not watch it. Never really liked it. But it's a quote-unquote hip-hop radio podcast / show called The Breakfast Club. And Darius Munchausen is familiar with Charlemagne the God. Charlemagne the Grapist, or the delinquency. I don't want to get a cease and desist. The delinquent with a minorist. So, yeah. But anyways, the Kwame Brown points out good points, and it started off again a beef between 2 guys. Now you have all this whole media machine. Jamel Hill, another race baiter, so to speak, someone who gets her nose in the political space, who doesn't even work for ESPN anymore. She called him violent on Twitter. Charlemagne was bringing up things about this guy's family that he didn't even know, bringing up the record of brothers he didn't know he had and all sorts of stuff, delving into this past. So they've gone into assassinating this guy's character, again, coming at us, a moderately successful podcast. But now you have TMZ Sports, The Breakfast Club, for whatever they're worth, is a pretty big platform, and ESPN, all making tons and tons of content at this guy because of this one guy who didn't say anything for 20 years and that they considered a bust. And he brings up points about how, another kind of crossover point. I talk so much about the college situation, the indoctrination camp, and not only that, just the scam it is. Yet you had my man Screaming A. Smith, who went on college tours downing this guy, who again had a 10-year career. A 10-year career. 12-year career in the NBA. And as he referenced, he's like, hey, I wasn't the best offensive player, but I was a decent screen setter. And I set a lot of screens for Kobe when he was having one of his best scoring years. I think it was his best scoring year he was on the team. He's like, yeah, a lot of those shots are Kobe just taking a crazy shot from half court. But a lot of them are he gets sprung open because of my screen setting. He talked about his Kobe stories and stuff. If you look at his channel, so he wasn't of no value. No, he was never what he could have been, but he wasn't of no value. And again, he embraces the bus thing. But you had my man Stephen A. Smith, Screaming A. Smith, going on college tours, downing him for how terrible he was, talking about this is why you need to stay in college. This is why you should go to college, because he went out of high school and he was terrible, and you don't want to be terrible like him. And it's just funny that he played a part in this guy selling that indoctrination trap to college kids. So I find the whole story interesting. I'm sure he's gonna, if you check Kwame Brown's channel, there's gonna be things you agree and disagree with. Like I said, he is a guy who voted Orange Man. And it's talked about that. And okay, you get the Breakfast Club. I think they're syndicated. Yeah, in Detroit, even though they're in NYC. I know they're NYC based. Oh, we did get Fimmer to 100 once today, and YouTube knocked his subs back. Down, is that serious? I'm sick of you. If that's serious, I'm really sick of it. We got Fimmer back to 90. Did that really happen? Wait down. And just another red shirt wants to be on the panel when Fimmer discusses Smoking on the Band. I feel like I should too. I haven't seen Smoking in the Band in a while. You can check it out. Hell, TMF. TMF is in here? Yeah, he is. Hell, Toxic Man Flu. Just says hell at. Not sure who he's adding. Adding all of us. Who doesn't love Burt Reynolds and Sally Field? I can't spell. No worries. It's late. Everyone's going to be making mistakes this late. So what happened on your stream, Bryce Day? Wow. Ogre Squasher 101 says he has to go. No, Ogre Squasher should have started earlier. You know what? I'm thinking of doing a stream like tomorrow, meaning Sunday as well. So I'm not sure what time Sunday would be best for you. You're the producer of the channel. What time Sunday will be best for Ogre Squasher so you can catch the whole thing? You let me know and I'll aim for that. If you're still here. If not, I'll say 3 or 4. But I'd rather, if you can toss out a time, seriously, that will work best for you. You pay enough you deserve that, bro. You deserve it. You keep this, everybody, honestly, because, a lot of people have tossed out super chats. A lot of people have been very supportive. So I do not want to disrespect anybody. I mean, the other day, I had pretty much $100 based upon everyone's super chats. It's not the first time that's happened. So you guys are very supportive, even, not Ogre Squasher excluded. But, bro, you pay enough. If you're still here, let me know the time tomorrow, and we'll do that. Because I do want to stream tomorrow. I do want to stream on Sunday because I didn't do a VigilanteWilliamson show for Thursday because of Thursday Night Throwdown emergency being on my channel, which I would appreciate that opportunity as well. But yeah, I'll say 3 or 4 tomorrow, meaning Sunday, or which is today technically, 3 or 4 p.m. today, 5:23 a.m. or 5:23 2021. Yeah, so I don't know if you're here. Email me if you don't want to say it in the chat. If you got a different time, like I'll be better. Anything between 10 and 4, I'm easy. 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. All right, you know what? Then let me shoot. So 4 p.m. I want it Eastern. Okay. 2 would be good for that, but I'm like, well, doesn't the culture go at the same time? I'll try to, you know what? I'll try to be noon. I'll try to do this at noon. I'll try to do it at noon. We'll do noon. Maybe a little later. Easy like Sunday morning. So yeah, we'll do noon. And that means this stream can only be so long. Which this stream wasn't playing. I was planning on going on every hour. But yeah. We give it, and YouTube taketh away. Yeah, that's sick. Fimmer deserves 100. He deserves 100 subs, man. Like, he has done a lot of streams. A lot of people's streams. Even if we joke about him not having content, he's been on a ton of streams. He earned that 100 subs, man. He really, really did. So that's really a shame that YouTube is being so crazy. And they've been crazy with me. I've lost subs a bunch. And they do it with the milestones. And I don't care what anyone says. They do it with the milestones. If you get to 400, 500, 300, 1,000, 2,000, whatever it is, you'll have subs go away, and significantly. And yep, outstanding. Yeah, so we're gonna go with noon p.m. I'll try to get the show kind of prepped tonight, so that way I can just wake up and run with it. So yeah, I think he will. Like I've said, if he can just, you guys saw Fenrir's face? I never saw Fenrir's face. I gotta check out this Brightest Day stream. It's like the thing to see. I missed it. I missed the most amazing stream on earth. Apparently, never seen Fenrir's face. Oh man. Yeah, and you know what? This is an issue that I kind of had. In a way, Fenrir gives away all his content to other creators for free. Yeah, that's the balance, man. And I realize it's funny that we're mentioning this, and I wish Fenrir was here to check it out. But like, that's the balance I'm trying to face, and I'm actually planning on being on a lot less streams, a lot less other people's streams. It doesn't mean none. I'm obviously going to do streams with Matt. But I'm going to make myself a little bit more scarce relative to other people's channels because I have to do more for my channel. I really want to do longer form content. I was talking to Bryce Day. He has a 3-hour alien video that I can't wait to check out when that's uploaded. But I want to do longer form content. You check out some of my original videos with the editing and stuff. I wanted to do more like that. So yeah, I need more time for my own channel. And what the Wait Down says, a lot of content creators, particularly small ones, tend to do. And I've done it. I felt like I've did way too many people's streams. But at the same time, there are people in the community that think that's the way to do it and that's the way to grow. And I really, while you can grow that way, you're kind of cheating the system in a way, because the system, this platform is to reward videos. It wants you to produce videos that people want to watch and people spend time on, of course, if they're, corporate approved. But that's what it is. Live streams can help, and live streams are good as far as monetization. Like I said, you guys keep this channel monetized without it being monetized. But ultimately, it is a video platform for videos. So because of that, if you're spending all of your YouTube time not only streaming, but not even streaming on your own channel, you're sort of selling yourself short. At the exact same time, it's a great way of networking. I met a lot of good friends through this process, but it has to be balanced out by creating content on your new channel, or your own channel. Brightest Day Noah says, no, I don't. That's someone else. Not sure what that's referencing. Yeah, 15-minute debate about fighting armies of zombie babies. Yeah, I have to check this stream out. Yeah, don't make other people's videos for free. If you're good at something, never do it for free. The Joker told us all that. And we got to listen. So yeah, if you do a music video for me, I'll give you at least $100, man. You probably deserve more. That's all I can do, man. I'm not, not rich. But hey, like I said, if I get the new job that I think I have a good chance at, I had 2 interviews. We'll see next week if I'm able to get that. And I got to offer somewhere else too if that falls through. But if I'm able to get that, then, I'll have a little bit more money to kind of spend on the channel. And hopefully I get better and not blowing it all on Bitcoin. Like I said, don't buy the top, kids. This is it. Gotta offer the audience something unique you can't get anywhere else. Think of Critical Drinker. I keep bringing up Critical Drinker to motherfuckers. I bring up Critical Drinker a trillion times because oh my God, you don't understand some of the internal debates. There are people who really think the streaming thing is the best way. And oh my God, I wanted to be disrespectful almost, but I love people. But it's like, motherfucker, who cares if nobody watches your shit? And if you don't get those people to watch your shit, look at Critical Drinker. He doesn't stream with 100 motherfuckers. He makes content that is unique to him, that nobody else can be. Critical Drinker. He offers entertainment with an articulate presentation. I keep bringing up Critical Drinker to people who are doing this, and I have to find my critical drinker, and I found the streaming thing, and I love doing this. That's why I'm doing this stream now. I love doing this, and I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to eliminate my ums. I'm trying to be more concise. I'm trying to be more coherent, which is obviously a challenge, but I'm trying to get better at streaming. But also, I have to find my critical drinker videos. Those videos have a specific energy. I prefer him to Mauler because he's funnier to me. I mean, well, Mauler can be funny, obviously, but he's more immediate, more simply funnier. In that case, why aren't you paying me, Vigilante Williamson? It's a good point, Red Shirt. It's a good point. You know, it's funny you mentioned that. What do you think mods are worth? What do you want? Not saying I can do it. Not saying Ogre Squash can do it. He's a producer. But like, because I mean, I don't know. Like, if I feel like my channel is at a certain point, I should pay my mods like something per stream. I think you're joking at least. Have a great personality. I appreciate that. RFR, need to find your angle. Yeah, and that takes some experimentation. I have some ideas. You may see some experimental videos that are not just news based. That's nothing. I like reporting the news. That's why I like doing the Vigilante Williamson show. I definitely just don't want to be a news channel. I'm not Tim Pool. So yeah, I have an idea. I have a couple ideas. But name your price, just another red shirt. Not sure I'll match it. But you can name it. Criticize with crazy. I do a lot of stuff for free. I'm not telling no one that, like, oh man, everyone needs to demand pay. I'm not trying to demand start a workers' revolution like I'm AOC either. Because there's a certain amount of building your name. And hey, how much money is it in this? Maybe possibly try saying the news. Nah, I'm not going to be too. I mean, I already have a mask. How much more gimmicky do I have to get? I don't want to toss too many gimmicks. But you know, I have an idea. I have an idea for something. Joking. I'm joking. Vigilante Williams, but I can put a lot more energy, intervention, than creating content. I see. You're almost in a Fenrir boat. You do a lot of other people's streams. If you can just host some of those streams on your channel, that would be just as much content. Let me see. There's less than 100% less drag over here. Not sure what we're talking about now. But yeah, I'm so glad you brought up Critical Drinker, because that's my argument to the way, you know, as much as streaming with other people is great, it's like, oh, you can't just live off of that. And on top of that, man, I'm starting to find myself, man, when there's like so many people in the stream, I'm starting to feel like, I don't know if I feel like trying to fight over 8 or 9 people to talk. That's why I really prefer solo streams and Culture Crime Fires, because it's just me and Matt. That's really my preferred. Like, if it's 3 to 4, 5 even, 3 to 5, it's cool. Once you get past 5, depending on the panel. A lot of times, one thing is because people sometimes are quiet on the MF, it's not as bad when they're 7. But yeah, that's it can be a bit much. And then I don't like talking over. Believe it or not, I don't like talking over people, even though I do it all the damn time. So yeah, and that's always a challenge. So that's another thing. But another thing is it can be sometimes simpler. I'm trying to find an article on this impulse thing. I have the picture, the thumbnail. I can't find it. Let me just Google it. I'll just look up the picture that I have in the thumbnail. I want to search for the next topic. Do the bucket with the drumsticks as an interlude. I'm thinking about getting it. I have a soundboard. My iPad can be my soundboard very easily. I'm too lazy to add drops to it. That's really what it boils down to. Actually, it's already set up. I'm just lazy. Like there's a bunch of drops I want to add. Jesus Christ, could you be any bigger? Okay. Let's share the screen. I was told in kindergarten, if you want to draw attention to your product, use glitter. That's very true. But I'm trying to appeal to more than very mentally disturbed union pervert workers, aka teachers. Here's Impulse. New Impulse. Hooray, Impulse. You know what else I need to look up while I'm here? I forgot about this. I was talking about Impulse. This is not just about Impulse. I need to bring up Jimmy Olsen. Like Jimmy Olsen. This isn't just about race swapping, by the way. It's about feminizing, as you could clearly see by that thumbnail. Let's see. I guess I'm gonna go back to bounding. Sorry about the delay searching for stuff. That's what happens if you do not prep. I mean, I prepped somewhat, but I didn't prep. This is a casual show. I don't prep as much as I do for the VigilanteWilliamson show. So where is that? Here we go. Okay, I really the story on these people or on these characters is less important than the imagery. First off, this Superman animated series is probably going to be a disaster. That's safe to say. Here's Impulse on the Flash series. I don't think either image, race swap aside, and I don't even know if Jimmy Olsen's black. I can't tell what race this is. Indian? Purple? Who knows? Because a lot of it is just the terrible colors. Because that's not real. I mean, I'm saying there's no people with that particular skin tone looks border unnatural. And that's because all the way things are drawn in Cal art style. And Lois is packaged, by the way. She's packing. She's packing more than Jimmy. The power fantasy. In any event, not only is this not Jimmy Olsen, not only is this ginger side, but he's not the picture of masculinity. Neither is our friend Impulse. These are not the pictures of masculinity. Now, it's supposed to be from this. This is where the inspiration is drawn from. But clearly, this is an anime. This is a comic book. So you can get away with certain poses in a comic book that look horrible in real life. And it's hard to imagine there aren't people smart enough to know how bad this looks. But again, less about the race swap of this guy. Why effeminize him? I have a theory that I'm developing about this race swap. Not only is it potentially anagram influence, if you understand the anagram for ginger, do not put it in the chat, you'll be yeeted. Lois has a camel toe on steroids, or maybe she has a roll of quarters, i.e. Michelle Obama. But not only is this to erase gingers, but there's an effort to feminize men, and in particular black men. So as much as there's these race swaps, also, other check boxes will be checked as well. Agree what's with making gingers black and men making all black men effeminate. Yeah. Lois looks like a 12-year-old boy. They love, you know what? It's funny that's an image they like portraying with women. There's something to that. Jens Pierce says they wouldn't soyize me, not when I got a Chuck Norris workout, bitch. No, not Jens. I don't think Jens could ever be soyized or effeminized or whatever, emasculated. What is with this, man? What is with this? You're telling me there wasn't a better idea besides this? And this costume looks terrible. This is like, as much as we talk about wanting comic book accurate costumes, you see things like this and you wonder, maybe, so you know what I mean? You do have to adapt things. And there's no shame in adapting something like this. Yeah, the post seems off, says Pop Culture Republic, but then again, it's CW. Everything's off about the CW. Does anybody remember when the first few CW shows were actually decent? I really liked the first couple seasons of Arrow in the first season and a half of Flash. And what is it? Legends of Tomorrow. Thought they were solid shows. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Bryce Day or Red Shirt says Bryce Day, more power to you. Took me almost a month just to figure out how to use Discord, and I wound up with an extra dormant account in the process. Well, listen, I'm pretty bad. I'm pretty boomer with a lot of stuff myself. Don't they have enough speedsters they can't write stories for? Well, listen, they had the chance. This gives them a chance to be more stunning and more brave. So there's that. All I can say about the costume is custom Nomex racing suit design for myself looks better than that. Yeah, they could have went with a different material. That helps a lot. You have colors that way. But again, it's fabulous. Yep, the first two seasons of Green, in parentheses, Arrow were really good. Yeah, I really like the second season. First season was good too. First season was really good. They use these properties to spread their agenda and use them up. Now they need the excuse to stop making them. They'll intentionally turn people off the superhero show now. Yeah, I think superheroes were dying without their help, but they've really, really destroyed them in pop culture. And think about what they've done to the comic books. This entire wave of superheroes being more popular than ever in other mediums, they've been destroyed. And so superheroes are part of pop culture that have been destroyed really the past 15 years. It's almost as if that all that attention the movies got was like a ball eating the rest of what superheroes could be. And it grew so big it reached critical mass and exploded. And now there's nothing left. Scorched earth. Thanks, Darius. I've been diligent so far with it. Chose close off the month. Strong next month is music. You guys are talking about. Oh, Annie Mae. Oh, because Brightest Day. Yeah. You know what? I need to watch other people's channels more. I'm sorry, Brightest Day. I feel guilty. Even though I show up in some of your streams, but I feel guilty. Look at Super Barista. Still hasn't landed. Looks like it's Super Barista that still hasn't landed his acting good to become a big star, to rub his fame in a small town phobic father who hates him being gay. I'm not sure you're referring to Impulse, but yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I agree. Says the Pop Culture Republic with the wake down. They stray away from source material for their own agendas. Yeah. And that's the thing with this. Hell, Ginger Ninja, another late night. Yes, another late night. Yes, another late night. But as you can hear, I'm starting to get pretty tired already. Only 40 minutes in. Says you owe me nothing. Says Bryce Day, you basically got me going. I'm glad to have helped. I'm glad you're at 100. Congrats on getting to 100. You'll be I'm at 450. You'll be there before you know it. You'll be past me before you know it. I said the same thing in the wake down. A lot of you guys are going to end up passing me. That's cool, man. Like I said, development is more important. Finding my own. I think I'm starting to find parts of my voice, but I need to find my own angle when it comes to videos. So once I get that, then I'll feel a little bit more confident in my own growth. Otherwise, it's going to be stagnated, and I got it, and I'm cool with that because it also gives me a time to get better. Most important aspect no one addresses that superheroes were the evolution of human mythology. We tore down legends with nothing to replace them with. Well, here's the thing. The human condition is pretty creative. So we can come up with something else. That's what's going to happen. They may destroy these properties. They may destroy, Impulse. We're just looking at the effeminization and the race swap thing. Hell, kill each child is what's going on. But Wade Dunn says you're right. We have no myths to replace them, and if we do, they will come after them too. But who cares if they come after them too? Young Ripper is coming up with his comic book company. So he's been talking about that. There are going to be more people who come up with more myths. Kai MFS has his book, which a lot of you I know have. I have. There are going to be more people to come up with more. If anything, I actually I have references in a song. These corporations steal people's ideas. They steal people's ideas. They destroy people's ideas. They own people's ideas without creating them. So if we have more creator owned, not just in the comic book realm, but just in the intellectual property realm in general, if we have more things that are creator owned and not corporate based, they'll be better. They'll come from the heart and the spirit of whoever's creating it or the group that's creating it. Look at an indie game. That's the indie game space, which can be, pretty much AAA at this point. Sometimes there's a blur between the lines. That shows that you can come up with something that is creator owned and that is original and that is successfully done and that's done successfully on a wide scale. That's what the indie game space has shown. What has Comic Gate shown? You can crowdfund something that you can get created. And actually, indie games has used crowdfunding as well. So we are not gonna. They can do this to Impulse. They can do this to Superman. They can make Superman black, gay. They can make Captain America gay. They can make Captain America feminist. They can make Lois a man. They can do whatever they want. They can make Luke drink green booby milk. We still have the great and iconic portrayals of all these characters. Superman, Christopher Reeve. Superman is not going anywhere. If you like Smallville, it's not going anywhere. You like the animated series, it's not going anywhere. You like the comics, the near 100-year history of the comics, it's not going anywhere. You like Star Wars, the original trilogy is not going anywhere. None of this stuff is going anywhere. You still have all of it. You still have way more movies that exist that you would like than you'll ever see. Same with any other medium, with manga, anime, which is also out there. And you have creators show up from this rubble. Maybe some in the chat, who knows? You guys are really creative. So, you have creators who are coming up in this space and coming up in different spaces, not just this. This is just one space. Sometimes I think people got to get outside this fandom bubble. This is one space of the fandom in this bubble. But you have people who are going to come up with better ideas than what we're getting out of Hollywood and out of all of entertainment, because corporate entertainment has failed. Plain and simple. The corporate entertainment sphere or the corporate entertainment ideal has failed. It's reached critical mass. Just like I talked about the superhero fad, so to speak. I think corporate entertainment in and of itself, we're talking about an entity that for over 100 years has stolen the copyright ownership of its creators. And that's kind of a transition into the Wake Downs comment. And actually, Ripper dropped his album last week or earlier in this week. It came out. Oh, yeah, he dropped the entire album, free copyright. He literally made a post telling everyone to use the music for free. Yeah, he's been saying that. So, all right, Bryce Day's got to try to go to sleep. Good night, Bryce Day. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Ninja says, don't just be yourself. Don't hold back. I just got to get better at editing and better at videos. Uh-oh. Robot VigilanteWilliamson. Damn it. Don't mess with me. I'm not Kwame Brown. Not Kwame Brown. For a young woman, Buffy has bigger balls than some of the male DC superheroes on CW. Well, we just showed Impulse. Again, Lois is beating him on package. And maybe that is a camel toe and a fupa, even though she's skinny. The hell's going on there? Yeah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer has more testosterone masculinity. Oh, yeah, I just read that. Was that different? That was a different chat. More testosterone masculinity than some of the DC shows on CW. Absolutely. To Roger Corman, if you're thinking about rebooting Black Scorpion, whatever you do, don't go to Greg Berlanti in the CW. Greg Berlanti, man, he has a real fingerprint of destruction. And don't hire Kelly Sue DeConn to be one of the writers for the new Black Scorpion show. That's probably what they'll do, just because he said not to, right? Anything that comes out new, I'm not even familiar with the Black Scorpion, but anything that comes out of Hollywood, I assume is going to be trash. They can do whatever they want, except grow an audience, anger the fans, and the fans will leave. Absolutely. Chris Husband the Crazy says, I'm working on my own IPs with hookers and blackjack. Hey, we need a little more hookers and blackjack. And when the fans leave, the normies leave. Absolutely. This is talking about Hollywood. Yeah, this town needs an enema. Yeah. What's that from? Ginger Ninja. That's from something. I can't think right now. Normies have been more forgiving, but they will leave eventually too, or they will eventually leave too. Yeah. The picture I saw must have been screenshots. I thought it was live. Okay. Well, he's been talking about it quite a bit as far as his album or mixtape goes. That got me curious. I looked up who now owns Buffy is Disney. How about that? Yeah, Buffy is a Disney princess. And Ginger Ninja said that's a moose knuckle. That's something's going on with her vag, man. That's pretty disturbing, man. I don't know what the fuck is going on down there. So Joker said that. Okay. Which version of the Joker? Oh, Batman 89. Okay. Batman 89. Yeah, that's some bad news for Buffy. Oh, where's that from? That's bad news for Buffy. I heard that term for the first time on Nina's channel. Okay. But yeah, even though they're destroying our myths, we'll still rise. We'll still come up with stuff. And again, back to the original point, this race swapping thing is not left at race swapping. Other check boxes will be checked. We talked about it on the Cultural Crime Fighters. They have really created this ideology and have normalized this ideology where there is white males who are the powerful evil gods who are worshipped and hated at the very same time. And they are, the powerful group who decide everything, which is the only half true. There is a powerful group of people. I'm not sure their race. They decide everything. But they've almost used their own mythos to inspire madness. So these evil people, they inspire everything. They create everything. They're the reason the world is bad. And then everything else is opposed to this small, really global minority. Right? The funniest thing about that is white women are included in everything else, even though there's more white women than white men in America, just in case you didn't know, because there's more women in general. So yeah, women, X-Men. I don't know if you guys seen that shit a few months ago, but yeah, they've started that narrative. They've normalized that narrative. There's now generations who have that narrative and believe that. And then the side effect is the more everything else you are, so the more racist you can be, the more LGBTQ you are. If you're a woman, that obviously means you're more oppressed, therefore more valuable, ? Because oppression is cool. Victimization is cool. And again, they have to also normalize this, because a lot of this stuff is not for us. This is for our kids. Especially this. This is for our kids. This is for our kids to be a little bit more normalized from feminized males. Feminized males more trying to lower the confidence of males in general. One thing it kind of links to the Kwame Brown thing, because he talks about certain stories that will be reported differently if they're white. I find it interesting how they can, not only are they attacking males in general, how they're able to separate groups by that. Because you can, depending on your narrative, you may feel like, man, I see in the news, oh man, if it's a black person, they get a break, this, that, and the third. While a black person may be looking at the news and say, oh man, if I see as a white person getting a break, and that you guys could both be using evidence that you see for that perspective. And it's just interesting how that could be a thing of division, when, especially if you're looking at it from my perspective, men in general are under the attack of the system. Men in general are just under attack. And so is masculinity is in general under attack. And you know what? I really can relax that another monster's here. Sup, y'all? Relax. I'm here now, says another monster. Appreciate you being here now. Really do. Wait, what? Hustle and Flow and Futurama in the same reference. What did I miss? Oh, here we go. Hookers are great, but it's hard out here for a pimp. There we go. Dope stuff. Criticizable the craze. Watching Buffy is why testosterone was down by 50%. Good job. I'm not in that half of the survey. You know what? Buffy did kind of like, even though Buffy probably has more testosterone than we get now from shows, Buffy really did start the sarcasticness, the Whedon speak, so to speak. I've been in Japan too. I'm not up to date on the lingo from the last 20 years. How is it living in Japan, man? Living in a different country. I'm not sure where you're from. I want to say Australia. Sorry if it's not. So you're from somewhere else. But how is it being a ginger ninja in Japan? Let's see. Always needs to be a boogeyman for those looking for power to justify their actions and positions, distract and rule, and divide and conquer. It's cool. Rather be in Japan, but I'd be too fat for Japan. I'm way too fat for Japan. I'm way too fat for America. I gotta lose weight so bad. I'm hoping to fast soon. Hell, Alexander Vidovic. I haven't seen you in a while, man. Okay, a view from across the pond, where there's usually more and a different social perspective, political education. When CRT people tell you white men are racist, ask them which white men. Huh. I don't listen, I don't buy the idea that all white people are racist. I don't buy the idea that no white people are racist or no black people are racist, no any group. But I'm almost sick of having this discussion because I think a lot, well, you're not having it. But like we do humor them too much. You'll be fine here. It's being taught that's the problem. I hit my head doorways at least 100 times a day. That's why this agenda seems like it came on waves. Absolutely. Each generation, the propaganda was ramped up. The youngest still think it's normal, while those aging out can see the lies. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This was in waves. Each generation was a little bit more indoctrinated than the last. And it went on not only in our generation, but generations previously. This was a long form, I would say, plan. I would be a Gaijin Supreme, says Chris Size with the Craze. If I wanted to watch a show with feelings of estrogen, I watch some of the DC shows on CW. That's sad. I really wish they didn't become the most estrogen-filled shows. Started off pretty good. While Hollywood and TV producers are rebooting, reimagining, and ruining older shows or the TV shows and movies, I'm amazed by the level of creativity I've seen from fan-made shorts on YouTube. They're better than what they can get from Hollywood. Better. They're sociologically and anthropologically different white people. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Nation groups are completely different culturally and physiologically. People look and talk and sound and act different. You're absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. I mean, really, you can say the same about pretty much any race. Say the same about black people. There's a lot of different anthropological, black people from Africa, depending on, and that's a zone thing. Sub-Saharan Africa, there's different countries, different tribes within each country. Then you have people from the islands. Then you have people who they say are descendants of slaves. Not all of us are. Some of us are. A lot of us are. But a lot of us came Spanish Moors. A lot of us are actually more Native American than we realize, believe it or not. And Ginger Ninja's from North Carolina. I am in North Carolina. I'm from Detroit, and I've been here so long, it just feels normal to me. I see. Japan loves fatties. Sumo still big, I reckon. But still, sumo wrestlers are incredible athletes. Slavic, which would be me. He's Slav, Germanic, Romanic, Nordic, Hellenic, which are all different people. Very true. And Alexander saying hello. He says, I'm working mad hours. When I work, I'm not able to join streams. Miss you guys. Feel free to watch the playbacks and comment on the playbacks, man. We miss you. And I understand the whole working thing. Do this for the working man. I've renounced humanity and became manimal, the man animal. Okay. Yeah, I denounce human supremacy. I denounce human supremacy wholeheartedly. Conan the Barbarian, the Arnie one, should be required viewing for JHS. I'm not sure the junior high school students. Real quick, let's see. Hey, hi, Grandmaster 7. Sorry I'm late. Hopefully you're still here on D Live. Just thought to, hey, I need to check my D Live. Need to check the D Live. This is a live show, by the way. It's just I'm simul stream, and the D Live chat does not show up in StreamYards. And you know what? There needs to be a masculinity push. What they don't realize, maybe they do realize. In fact, I take that back. They do realize this. Toxic masculinity is created from the effeminization of men. I think the useful idiots have no clue to this, but the people up top absolutely know this. Just like they know CRT is divisive, just like they know anti-racism, the anti-asylum, just like anti-fascism. They know this stuff. They know that, you know, they're emasculating black men in the name of bettering them. They know organizations like BLM are evil, and they know that making men less masculine and more feminine actually makes them more toxic. I'm too short to be a Wookiee, too tall to be an Ewok, so I'll be an Ewonky. See, yes, sir. VigilanteWilliamson racists have to do much of the unification and getting into the same pot of different people so that hate works and unify. Yeah, and if you notice, a lot of simplification, like you said, there's so many differences in people. Hell, just think about the white American, which is the, you know, again, white man bad, whatever. Is a person from North Carolina, born and raised in North Carolina, the same as someone born and raised in the New York area? It's the same as someone born and raised in Chicago or Detroit, like my man Darius Childhood. You know, I am, which I'm not white. But or any other state, you know, there's differences in the areas. Now, yes, the internet has homogenized a lot of things. It's homogenized the world in a way by making certain cultural beats a part of everyone's, you know, everyone has to deal with feminism, everyone has to deal with whatever. But there's still key differences. So everybody is different, man. That's the thing. You know what? A lot of this, it's not just a racial thing. It's a collectivist thing. It's destroying of the individual, denying the individual their right to be different or their right to be anything. You are only the group that we say you belong to based upon attributes of which you were born. That's all you could ever be. The only time I ever felt small in Japan is when I went to a dinner party with a bunch of sumo wrestlers. Yeah, they're huge. And they're tall, too. They're like, we have offensive linemen as far as like football. They're like that, where they're like incredible athletes. They're fast, explosive. I would not want to fuck with a sumo wrestler. Yes, masculinity course. Zorro, James Bond, Conan, Rambo, Bruce Willis, Bruce Willis. I didn't say Bruce Willis. Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee. Well, actually, you know, fucking Die Hard. Die Hard. It's a fucking great movie. If you want to be toxic, let your kids read the Gore novels. I'm not sure about the Gore novels. I don't know what they are. Sorry. Just another red shirt. Love the Gore novels in high school. I don't know what they are because I'm a minority to that. Yeah, I'll be down there. There's a lot of stuff we need in schools. Can we teach these kids practical skills? Can we give these kids trades? That's something we could do in schools. That's something we have to do in schools. They need practical skills. They don't need to be learning CRT. Yeah, right. It's like 70s and 80s action flicks. All right, the wait now says close to 2:30 a.m. here. I got to be up for work by 8, so I'll be heading down in a few. Sent you the link for all the CCF videos on Twitter. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I will check that out. Read someone was 12. I'm toxic for liking Buffy and not liking Captain Marvel. No, you're not toxic. I don't care. Like, we gotta the fuck what they say. You're not toxic. Hell, you wouldn't be toxic if you liked the Captain Marvel. You wouldn't be toxic if that was the case. My partner in culture crime fighting likes Brie, so it's okay. Oof. Cannot read that word, Alexander. But I'll take your word for it. Did the Gore novels tell how the internet was made? Yeah, they need to make a shop class in high school, which I've done that, or they need to take shop class, which Wish I had done that when I was in high school. Shop class isn't even a thing. Shop class isn't even a thing in a lot of schools. Rural schools tend to have FFA. I'm not sure what that FFA means, but it teaches trades. That's good. I know I went to his high school, obviously in the Detroit area, and then I also went to a high school in a more rural area, and they did have a tech program, which I wish I would have done. Would have saved me a lot of trouble because trades are the future. And you know, I'm before we go and wrap up, I talked a little bit about my job situation. Looking for a new job, and I am still currently employed. I'm blessed to be, but looking for a new job has kind of opened my eyes to a lot of things. I did a video or a short a few weeks ago. I actually did pretty good on TikTok. Got like 500 views, which is why I need to use that platform a lot more. And I am on TikTok. I am on TikTok on a lot of other, I had to have some normie stuff. I don't consider Twitter normie. Normies aren't on Twitter. They're just not. Normies are on Facebook, normies on Instascam, and there are normies on TikTok. It's a popular platform. But anyways, I talked about the job or the worker shortage, so-called there's not enough workers. And I really think a lot of that is these companies are afraid to hire people. Like they have become, there's a class of the recruiter and the human resources. These people have become absolute fucking snobs. And they are the most precious, unrealistic individuals. And they also have this moth to flame mentality. They're high school girls who all want the quarterback. And they have used that mentality to borderline destroy the worker. So let me explain. I am blessed enough that I've worked in my industry despite my best efforts to leave for over 10 years. I just got really, important and fairly hard to get industry certification. That's the best way of describing what I do. And as a result, my job search has been will hopefully be pretty fruitful. And I'm blessed for that. But I've had a lot of companies, express interest when they really should be looking for someone more entry level. And a lot of companies are short-staffed, incredibly short-staffed. Even the company I work for is incredibly short-staffed. That's one of the reasons I'm leaving. It's too, not just short-staffed, it's just terribly managed. But you have companies that are short-staffed and yet do not want to hire people at the same time because they want someone with 50 years experience and who's 25, who just, 8 college degrees. They want this perfect superhuman candidate, and also they just don't open up enough levels for entry level positions. And it's weird when I'm riding by certain areas, and there's an intersection not too far from where I live, actually walking distance from where I live, when during the day there's usually a couple homeless people begging for money. And I'm like, man, you know what? I bet you they could do this entry level job that you guys are going after me for. It would have a lot more impact on their lives. We don't really have a worker shortage. Yes, part of that is, do people want to work minimum wage jobs? Absolutely, I get that. But there are a lot of jobs that people can do off the street, and can be trained into and get at the ground level of a lot of these companies, and they're not being hired for the snobbishness of a human resources person or a recruiting company or a recruiting firm or some recruiter. And they live on LinkedIn and they sniff each other's farts and they suck each other's dicks. Meanwhile, there are people fucking homeless who need work, who are willing to work. Like, I don't think there's going to be a worker shortage for a lot of these, I think what you would consider remedial, but they're part of the world moving to fast food, the grocery store. I think a lot more people are going to start going into those jobs. And hell, I'm willing to work those jobs. If something would happen with my position and that's what I got to do, there's nothing wrong with grinding back, man. Nothing wrong with hard work. Nothing wrong with hard work. But when you talk about corporate America, they're destroying the ability for people to get that experience that they need, and they're being too fucking snobbish, and it's across the board. Across the board. Let's see what you guys are saying. You guys talking about? Let me see. Actually, before I get into what you guys are talking about, what I'm saying, the gore novels is something I asked about. See, I had shopping home ec in junior high school, so I taught myself to cook. Says just another red shirt. Fortunately, it hasn't been a thing in a few generations. Not to give your age, just another red shirt. Can I look that word? That word is the name of a famous Soviet communist dissenter. I see. Slave girls meet John Carter. What's not to love? It's the phobic. Read the Gore novels at the same time as hunting down the Conan books. Oh, just another red shirt. Take it easy. Oh no, that's just way down leaving. I'm sorry. Gore mythos is awesome. More toxic pulp novels. Is that where John Carter's from? I never read the novels, but I remember the Gore movies. One of them was Fighter for Mystery Science Theater 3000. Hail New Bomb Turk. And then we get into the job situation. And Robert says they want people with experience for entry-level jobs. Absolutely. Absolutely. And New Bomb Turk says, looks like I stepped in the right time. Fuck corporate America. My dream is to get out of corporate America. And I realized early in the year, I'm going to have to give them the time stone, so to speak. So I have to go into corporate America a little bit more hardcore to save up money for my escape. That's the plan. That's why hopefully this new job pans out and we can get into it. But that's what led me to this conversation I'm having to end the stream. We're still going a few minutes to hash out everything I want to say on it. Heck, I work for a school district. We need people in the maintenance department. I'm not shocked. Submitted 10 applications the other day. I got one response. That response is, we're going in another direction. It's ridiculous. Right, no Imperial. Hello, chat. By the way, I just woke up. It's 8:33 a.m. in Europe. I see. Still haven't had my coffee. So I am in zombie mode. Well, enjoy your coffee as you I'm good to be your morning show. That's cool. It's cool. New Bomb Turk saying hi to the whole chat. Yeah. Hard work is part of masculinity. There's no group of any race in history that created a developed civilization, and that includes people who weren't white, that didn't work hard. Hard work is part of the masculine identity. What they're trying to do with this criticize crazy, but hard work is part of the white man culture is bad. And I really wish I could find that damn. Oh man, I did a fucking video on it, and they've since gotten rid of it. And I thought I downloaded it, but I don't think I did. But it was the National Historical, whatever, something from the Smithsonian that's supposed to be for African American. And it was just one of the most racist things I've ever read. And it was really like, combination white supremacist / negative towards all groups. It was really disturbing. Really disturbing. I can't find it. I wish I could find it. But anyways, what they're trying to do is make white a pejorative, and then at the same time associate all potential paths to greatness or achievement as only Caucasian based, because they're trying to encourage everyone to be failures. They're trying to encourage people to not believe in themselves and to believe success is impossible. And if you do succeed, you're being white. It's funny because that's been a kind of an issue with black culture, and they're trying to give that issue to everyone. I've had the theory that the Tuskegee experiment never ended, and now it has 7 billion participants. That black culture was used to be experimented on for means to subjugate the entire planet. That's why, in my theory, you had the crack epidemic in the 80s, and then you had the pill and meth epidemic in the 2000s on to now. Like I said, I've lived in rural America. That meth shit is no joke. So there's that's sick that they've done that. And I wish I could find the pamphlet. I'm actually gonna look it up again. But yeah, hard work is a part of human culture. It's a part of masculinity. It's part of it's just humans. It's not like women haven't worked hard throughout the years. Listen, a woman that kept the house 120 years ago worked way harder than most people do now. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. The technology didn't exist to wash clothes like we do now. You had to use the fucking washboard and shit. It was a whole different era. Whole different era. Okay. Alrighty, is this it? I think I found it. Let's see. No. Let me see. I think I found it. Sorry about the delay. I'm gonna see what you guys say, and then I'll see if we can. Okay, I found it, and we'll get into that in a second. So I found what I was talking about, and we'll go through it live. Back then, a great after-school job was lighting the gas lights on Main Street, and now we have the corporate world gaslighting Main Street. So yeah. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. All right, Turk. Let me see. Currently uploading a video now. Another Wreckfest vid. Somehow one of my vids got 140 views. Congratulations, Newbound Turk. It's cool to have a video go over 100. It's cool that your channels are growing. I want all you guys to grow. I want all you guys to be bigger than me. Jens Peter, your surname, sir, is pejorative term. Whoa. Don't take Jens's masculinity for gay and Serbo-Croatian language. Do not be surprised if ex-Yugoslavian people laugh when they hear your name. Just heads up. And you know what? Cinchin Dildo's never mentioned that. He's Croatian. Waving to Darius Munchausen. Preacher on VW. I try. But usually just a polite chuckle. I agree to stupid white culture thing was dumb. And we'll get into it. The assumptions, aspects and assumptions of whiteness and white culture in the United States is what it's called. And white culture is also a very subtle thing. There's, again, local, national groups, culture, mostly, even in those divided by local nations, descent, yeah. Everything was washed by hand back then, even the wood floors, yes. Yeah. Oh God, I just found a video by the band the Lindas. Name of the song is Racist, Sexist Boy, I Quit. Yeah, I would too. Again, there's romantic culture, Germanic, Nordic, Hellenic, Ittric, and all other nations. These are distinctive all down together, distinctive all together down to the religions and so on. Yeah, I'm just butchering everything, which is why I find it dumb. Europe is filled with various cultures of the Caucasian persuasion. But again, this cultural Marxism is trying to dehumanize people. Always keep that in mind. They're trying to dehumanize everybody, and they're getting bang for their buck because whiteness is all one thing, blackness is all one thing. Everything is monolithic. Everybody is monolithic, and they're trying to destroy the individual as much as they are attacking people via their race. Their race. Holy shit! I am getting tired, and my words are just slurring. Jesus Christ. Okay. But what I'm trying to say is the individual is still the biggest minority, and they're trying to destroy people for not only their race, but to dehumanize people. So to make you only your group, only, your culture doesn't matter. You're just a white man, and that's the prescribed culture we say you are. And the band is, holy shit, is made up of young Asian girls. The youngest is 10. I won't say the next generation is lost because there's always going to be an opposition to that. But that's disturbing. This is true. Just another red shirt. Since your dildo lasts at everyone, regardless of surname or sexual orientation. That's fair. So I haven't checked it out, and I'm not going to check this out. Right, the Mound Pounder, 3,000 demands, respect from you, all you flesh bags. Yeah. So sorry you guys checked out that Linda's video. Yeah, I'm not paying attention to that. So let's get into this. This is actually a video I did, one of my early videos last year, almost a year ago. I did a video when this thing first came out, and I have not improved at all. But this is from the National Museum of African American History and Culture at the Smithsonian. So this is the organization that gets to teach Black people about themselves, and they're completely white supremacist / white hatred. Because remember, it's a combination. Never forget that all those blue-haired land whales worship Trump, even if it was in reverse. Some of you may have thought you liked Trump, or you liked him a lot. But these people who hated him worship him. They worship him like a deity. If not, CNN wouldn't have ratings falling off. Yeah, New Brown Turkey not wrong. That's marketing, making a song like that get hits good or bad. So I'm not going to pay attention to it. Not going to pay attention to it. The worst thing we could do is feed the trolls on stuff like that. All right, let's get into this. White dominant culture, or whiteness, refers to the way white people and their traditions, attitudes, and ways of life have been normalized over time and are considered standard practices in the United States. And since white people still hold all the most of the institutional power in America, we all have internalized aspects of whiteness, including people of color. Why is this sentence problematic? I mean, there's a lot of obvious reasons, but it's one, divisive. That's obvious. But the things that really bother me is, since white people still hold most of the institutional power in America, they really got a lot of the all tall people wear red thing. Where and also it's not entirely true. I mean, AOC and fucking Mad Maxine have a lot of power. But because there are a lot of people in power who happen to be white men, they make it the assumption that all white men have power, all white people have power. Whereas, like, Mike is tall. Mike wears red. All tall people wear red. That's obviously, an illogical fallacy, so to speak. But they've got a lot of mileage out of it. So white people hold all the institutional power of America. So you're just a random white person who's homeless. You have more institutional power than me, apparently. You have more institutional power than Mad Maxine, apparently. So because of that, we all have internalized aspects of white culture, this negative, evil white culture. Whiteness is so evil, including people of color, which is in and of itself, to use the term people of color is so racist to me. Still, ever since that became a popular term, I hate it, because I'm like, it's the same as colored people. And why in the fuck are you supposedly for minorities, and you're trying to make white people seem like the superior base race? You know what I mean? Because to say people of color, which if you go on a global scale, most people are not white, you're literally saying that only white people are people and everyone else are people of color. They have to be classified against white people. More divisiveness and more dehumanization. And that's the point. Just like Alexander is talking about, hey, there's so many different cultures in Europe, and they all just get dissolved into whiteness. Now you're trying to dissolve all of the other cultures in existence, all to people of color. Think about how many, use the term Indian, referring to India, the country. How many cultures are in India? How many religions are in India? So even that one group, which is, if you look historically, an amalgamation of other groups, that, there's so much diversity in that. But nope, it's all just a person of color. You are the same as a black guy in America relative to this what this phrase entails. You're just all one mass. It's the cultural Marxism. You're not an individual. You're not even your own culture. Your culture must be destroyed. You're just a mesh. It has to destroy your culture. That's what cultural Marxism is about. That's why they topple they topple statues. They destroy our myths. They're trying to destroy culture as a thing and implant it with their own. It isn't just Western culture; it's all culture because they call people of color, and just even the white people thing. Like Alexander is so expertly saying in the chat, you're dehumanizing and de-emphasizing people's individual cultures and all the diversity and groups that exist amongst these racial groups. Color is not a race. To be fair, color is not a race. And really no different than Tom McDonald making a rap song about the crazy political extremes. Assholes did this to D&D. Wiki says Chris out of the craze. And Wiki Lives Matter says more racist crap. This is actually a year old. I was actually talking about the worker issues with a lot of these jobs not wanting to give out jobs to people. Then we talked about the white people hard work thing. And I wanted to get into this document that's a year old, a really, it's critical race document. And it really has a lot of this stuff in there, and it's really disturbing. Red is the color of rage, aggression, dressing a fictional character, and red brings negative emotions. I did not know that. My humble opinion, and people in power act similarly when in power despite their color, their skin, or nationality. I agree with that. It's the power trip, not the racial or national trip. Yeah, absolute power corrupts, absolutely. But putting them in red, green, and yellow and green makes you hungry. I know red and yellow makes you hungry. That's why McDonald's has red and yellow. Here in the South, so does Bojangles. Question? Not sure what the question's for. Was I that unintelligible? Oh, yeah. India is insanely diverse. I've experienced it firsthand. You talking to me? Wookie Lives Matter says, I have a video on my channel titled The Atrocities of the Caucasian Race. It shows how whites don't have any culture of our own. Yeah, we were just talking about that, Wookie, about Alexander was breaking down how in Europe there's so many different cultures and diversity. And you know what? There's an argument. American culture was one of those first cultures that had all of their culture stripped. Both white and black people had their culture stripped just to, to call us, white or black. Those are not really technically correct terms. That's why I've heard some people say so-called white or so-called black because they're not really correct. LOL. Sassman says the worst trend I've seen is when more people say black and brown bodies like they're talking about corpses instead of humans, because they dehumanize people. Why don't you think, listen, this group called Black Lives Matter only cares about death. They only care about black men when they're dead. They do everything to de-emphasize black men otherwise, and men and everything in general. They emphasize humanity in general. They only care about death. These people are sick. Now, in general, there's a reason they use red for security engineering. I see. Destroy distinct American culture is easy to divide the people and pit them against each other. Yeah, pop culture, probably you're right. It's pretty gross, says sometimes. You're right. It's all about culture, where and how you were raised. Yeah. Mayo culture, like getting a sandwich. Prime example of a power trip, Lori Lightfoot. Yeah. I'm being sarcastic. Which part were you being sarcastic? Well, so here's the thing, man. American has a culture, but that culture has been broken down. So there used to be a culture specific, and there still is, but there used to be a culture specific to what area of the country you were raised. The internet has destroyed that. So there's something, even if you're being sarcastic, there's kind of something to that. Hey, Turk. India is a huge country, soon to have more people than China, way more cultures than China, since China is cracking down on differences. America has not been stripped of its culture, it's been suppressed. But this culture has been demonized. American culture has been demonized. This flag has even been demonized to an extent. All right, let's get into this. Speaking of demonization of any methods of success, because all of these things are white, because apparently only white are powerful. Only white can create something, and all of this stuff, white is bad, and anyone who's trying to do this is white. You should do the opposite of it. So, except when a black man is killed by another black man, how many deaths are innocent in Chicago happen every day? Yeah, you're absolutely right. BLM doesn't care because they don't care about black men. They want black men to They hate men. They hate men. So they are okay with that. Yeah, they are very spiritual people, also very aggressive people in India. A lot of things, human, best and worst. Not sure. Somebody said Lori Lightfoot, Beetlejuice. All right, let's get into this. Rugged individualism. That's white supremacy. To be an individual. Again, like I said, they're trying to deculturalize people and destroy individualism. Individual is the primary unit. Self-reliance, that's white culture, and of course bad. Because remember, it's not just all these things are white, which means if you're from any other race, you can never be this great to have self-reliance or whatever else we're talking about. Is that all these things are negative. They're trying to make sure nobody of any race does any of these things. Self-reliance, independence and autonomy, highly valued plus reward. Individuals assumed to be in control of their environment. Get what you fucking deserve. Yeah, you're not supposed to get what you fucking deserve. It has that, so I use that drop. Family structure. This is some real evil shit. The nuclear family. Father, mother, 2.3 children is the 2.3 children is the ideal social unit. It is. People suffer without fathers. It's just statistically true. You have no statistical basis for demonizing the family unit. And if you're trying to say only white people, because right now the single mother thing, and really in general, but especially in the black community and even other communities, is crazy. Never forget, before you guys welfared out the black community, that black people had a lower rate in divorce in the 50s than white people, than their white counterparts. So the nuclear family used to be a part of American culture regardless of race. Socialism destroyed that. Marxism destroyed that. The husband is the breadwinner and the head of the household. None of that. The wife is the homemaker and subordinate to the husband. No wife being subordinate to their husband, which that's evil. That's evil. And the children should have their own rooms, be independent. So what are you saying? You want everybody in a hut? What do you want? What do you want? National Museum of African American History of Culture, part of the Smithsonian Institution. What do you want for society if all of this is bad and therefore white? So you're saying there no cultures ever existed in a nuclear family structure outside of white culture? Is that what you're trying to say? Only Caucasians historically have had a nuclear family? That's insane. Emphasis on scientific method. Objective, rational, linear thinking. That is white. No other group has ever done it. And if you're doing it, it's bad because you're a white supremacist. Cause and effect relationships. If you believe things happen because something has, is a cause and effect, white culture. Quantitative emphasis. Again, white culture. Scientific belief in general. It's white culture. Let's see what you guys are talking about before we go further. Just because pinheads say whites don't have a culture doesn't make it true. They're racist. No. Oh, no. Yeah, that's not true. That's not true. Let me see what I'm trying to refer. I'm more referring to just the de-emphasizing culture in general. They're trying to homogenize culture. But no, everybody has a culture. Every group has a culture. Every city has a culture in its own way, even though, again, the internet is destroying that. Why do you think they would put the flag in that specific position? You're absolutely right. I didn't notice that. I should have said something about it. That's the I can't think of the position. Can't think of the word for it. But the stress. Patriots will never place the flag like that. Hell, Marvel even got the flag wrong on their hobo cap. It was backwards. Yes. CRT wants to use racism of any social identity to put those identities against one another, using mainstream media and social networks to push just one side of the story. That fits the hate enhancing. Yes. Individualism. So 20% of us did not. But yeah, a lot of black people, that was really disturbing to me. The people that celebrated voting for Joe Biden, a guy who literally just, one of the more destructive recent things in the black community was the crime bill. And a guy who actually had ties to the KKK, a guy who didn't want his kids living or going to school with, what he said, racial jungle. This guy was celebrated by black people. That is still boggles my fucking mind. Boggles my mind. Be it no individualism. I think that's the word you're trying to type, yes, according to the Democrats. I brought up my daughter without her mother around. Everything the left is pushes absolute horseshit. Good for you, man. I know that's rough. So congrats on that. And the Ginger Ninja has to head out. I appreciate you being here. Keep rocking it. VW in the chat. Yeah. Androgynous uniform play marriage, genderless couplings with children raised by the glorious benevolent government. That is what they want instead of the family structure criticizable. They want this. I don't know what they want. What they want, really, if you remember, if you really know how this education system really gets down with kids, what they want is cuties. That's what the fuck they want. Every company has a culture. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Raw, rugged individuals, strong families, good education, good work ethic. All these are bad. Absolutely. They're white. That's part of white culture, and white is evil, don't you know? They were happy till they started to see the gas prices. I never understood that. Like, I didn't understand the celebration of Biden. I kind of understood being, Trump being so demonized, and I'm not an orange man good guy. I'm orange man now, but I still voted for the orange motherfucker. But I get saying, oh man, the media's for 4 years has told us we're he's bad and I don't know any better, so he's the opposite. Cool. But I just didn't get the celebration. That I didn't get. Like, I if you thought Joe Biden was the lesser of two evils, that's one thing. I disagree with that, but that's one thing. To celebrate him is just ridiculous. Anyone who thinks that the government will take care of them should study the history of Native Americans' relationship with the government. That's my reason against reparations. The reservation situation is a reparational program. Look how that turned out. Look how that turns out. I have no desire for any reparations because of the government's history with Native Americans. And again, the welfare state, it was totally created in the 60s. It was poison pilled. We had the civil rights movement. We also had the welfare movement as well. So a lot of black and brown culture was poison pilled as a result. Faceless bots that will follow Big Brother. Indeed, yeah. Even when it smacks in the face talking about the gas prices. Who made this nerdporeal life form? By the way, hell, this is the Smithsonian. It's the National Museum. I always got to look up to remember what it stands for. But it's the National Museum on African American History and Culture. It's a division of the Smithsonian Institute. They created this a year ago. They created this a year ago. I did a video about it. We talked about hard work being a white thing, and I wanted to show the document that was, in my opinion, the origin, but it means origins are in CRT. But this is one of the first documents that came out about this a year ago. I'm not sure if I'm in a good enough mood for this. I understand Wookiee lives matter, and I apologize if this offended you or if I said something that offended you. I didn't mean to. This is depressing, man. This is fucking depressing. Well, most of that money does not trickle down, bro. Most of that money does not. That the biggest issue is only a few get this money for the casinos. So yeah, man, I'm not sure. That money is not trickling down. Does not trickle down at all. Night. I'm slipping into my chair soon. I will be a blob. I'm not sure what a blob is. Night. Of course, people were. I saw people filling grocery bags with gas, and the fact that people were filming that is like, somebody let that person know, hey, it's not gonna work. People are people are lost. People are lost. So yeah, wild, divisive. Yeah, this is very divisive. How much more of this is? Is it? Yeah, just a little bit more. It's a lot of it more because we only got the scientific method. Don't have a small enough violin. Okay, Wookiee lies. That's okay, man. That's on you, man. So yeah, let's get into this. Let's keep going. History based on the Northern European. This is again. I feel like it's demonization of all these things. Maybe you think he's not. Who knows? Based on Northern European immigrants' experience in the United States, heavy focus on the British Empire, the primacy of Western and Greek, Roman, and Judeo-Christian tradition. So this is thing is Christianity and Judeo-Christian tradition is not exclusively Caucasian. And the fact that Northern, that this country was founded by Northern European, well, the country was founded by people who came from Britain. So the idea that they would be focused on that is like logical. But let's get, this is actually the origin, the Protestant work ethic. Hard work is the key to success. Work before play. If you didn't meet your goals, you didn't work hard enough. Why is this demonized? Oh, geez, did not mean to zoom in like that. Trying to zoom in a little closer because I'm blind. But how did we get to a point where anyone could demonize hard work being the key to success? What do you think is the key to success? How can this? Here's the thing that contradicts this, the logical contradiction of a lot of this shit. So if you're saying that hard work is not the key to success, what are you saying? What else is the key to success? Now, if you actually follow how cultural Marxism works, it's really nepotism. It's really nepotism is how that works. It says work before play. If you didn't meet your goals, you didn't work hard enough. Well, yeah. If you don't meet your goals, man, like how's, not to say that there's never a case where hard work doesn't pay off, or you work hard and you don't get something. It does indeed happen, but yeah. Let's see. Don't have a song violin. I'm in Arizona. I know that crafts work. They don't like scientific method because it's not based on consensus. Yeah, because collectivism is a huge part. What they do, crit reservation. No, that's supposed to be CRT reservation, or that specific reservation. Let's see. This is another interesting thing, because they want the state to be the government. Yeah, hard work is demonized when you have the mindset that the government should give you everything. And speaking of religion, or speaking of the government giving you everything, there's something about statheism, as Young Ripper will put it. There's something about them wanting you to not have a God and to believe the state is God. So here's some demonization of Christianity. Christianity is the norm. Anything other than Judeo-Christian tradition is foreign, which is ridiculous. Christianity has been so de-emphasized from American culture in my lifetime. It's not even funny. No tolerance from the deviation from a single God concept. It's funny that it didn't mention Islam as far as single God concepts. It's also funny, just talking about religion, that I don't know if you guys ever saw the shirt where it's like, I'm against Islamophobia, against misogyny, and all these different things, but it includes Islamophobia and homophobia. And so how can you be against homophobia and Islamophobia? You do realize there's a conflict here, but no, they don't. But yeah, the attack on Christianity has gone on for so long. I'm surprised they even put this in there. And what is Christianity besides a 401(c) or 501(c) at this point? They basically, a lot of Christian churches, unfortunately, have become arms of the state and no longer teach the Bible, which is a sad thing. But yeah, this destruction of Judeo-Christian values, this is another thing. When I was talking about the culture thing, man, talking about white, I didn't mean to, hopefully I didn't come off istophobic on my own right. But there's a destruction of culture that's happened in waves, and the destruction of religion. And say what you will, I know there's going to be a lot of different people with a lot of different thoughts about whether or not God exists, and if so, what belief system is the best or whatever. But when you get away from the Judeo-Christian concept and those values and those morality, those mores, man, that's sped up the degradation of culture so fast. There's a reason that no civilization has existed without some belief in a higher power. One of those reasons is a unifying set of values. Another one of those reasons is is something hopeful to rely on in times of distress. But having a unifying set of values is important. It's important for a culture to thrive. There can be deviation within that set of values, but certain mores and the destruction of those mores has really played a role. And that happened before the internet. That happened when I was a kid. It became, people became too cool and too smart to believe in the Most High in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And I'm not checking the chat to see what you guys think about that. But this is a huge thing and probably one of the most underrated elements of that. And again, Christianity is especially currently, is far from a white exclusive religion. Far from it. So that's complete bullshit. And again, demonization of that is bullshit. Let's see. In this system, there are two keys to success. Which one is for you depends on whether you're I can't pronounce that, or proletariat. If I disagree with you, it'd be easier. You're right about a lot of stuff, and that makes it worse. LOL. Yeah, I wish I trust me, Wookiees. I wish I was wrong about most of this shit. A lot easier. A lot of this is horribly overgeneralized. That's the point. There's more nuance to almost all these statements. We're not limited to anyone's religion. It's illegal to do so. Absolutely. Christianity has been attached for a while. Nothing new there, but I think it's been beaten to a pulp. It's been beaten to a pulp. You know what I mean? I just feel there's no impact of Christianity at all. Maybe some still Catholicism, but Christianity is none. Stop by and say hello, hit the like button. I appreciate that, Ron Martin. And you guys like and share if you haven't. Like and share. And you know what? Let me check the D Live because somebody might be watching the D Live. But yeah, please like and share and sub if you haven't. And yeah. Let's see. I just read the steak and potatoes line. Bland is best. Where did I miss that one? If someone hasn't made them a good steak, yeah, good steak can be well more than bland. Criticizing the ideology is not hate of fearing it. What CRT does when they say criticizing is hate in and of itself. Yeah, well, it's funny because CRT does nothing but criticize. So maybe they're outing themselves as being hateful. I don't feel like being Islamophobe is wrong to be if Islam has been very clear about wanting anyone like you did just saying. I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Well, I'll touch with a 4-foot pole, I guess. Because, I mean, I've never studied the Quran. I've never studied the Quran. So, I've heard a lot of it, but I've never studied it to know. I don't think that everybody who's a Muslim is violent, though. So that's where the thing is. And again, listen, I don't know. I have a tendency to just live and let people, let people be. But if you're angry at individuals who also are part of Islam who do things that are negative in the name of Islam, that's understandable to be angry at that. That's understandable. You know what I mean? It's understandable even if you're talking about, especially in Europe, a lot of things that groups, really evil, disgusting groups who also happen to be a part of that religion, and a lot of shit they've done referring to those gangs, those grooming gangs out in Europe. You have your right to be angry with that shit, and this is disgusting what's happened. But they'll protect the group. Fuck that. They're demons. Fucking demons. But at the same time, I'm not gonna put however I feel about those individuals, be them terrorists or those particular individuals in that grooming gang, and then go to all of Islam with that. Not saying that's what you're doing, because you're saying, hey, that text is pretty radicalizing. And if that's what you say, I haven't studied it to know. I haven't studied it to know. So I couldn't tell you. But hey, if you're again, you feel about people who act on those things, that's one thing. I have a tendency to say, hey, if you're not acting in an aggressive way, you can believe whatever you want to believe. And to be 1,000% fair, I much rather someone believe in Islam than in nothing at all. Not saying I have any issue with atheists, but seeing what or let me rephrase it. I much rather somebody, because there are people who are not grounded in any religion, or there are people who are, atheists who are fine and grounded and mentally healthy, right? But there's a tendency for people to need to worship something. And looking at this SJW epidemic, atheism is a big part of it. In my mental illness is a big part of it. Collectivism, there's a lot of elements, but I think not having a higher power or belief in higher power is a huge thing. So I'd much rather someone belong to Islam than to just be too cool for God. And yeah, saying that Islam is homophobic is truth. Preventing you from saying that is hate. Yeah, that was my point. How can you be Islamophobic and how can you be against both Islamophobia and homophobia? It looks like I'm robot VigilanteWilliamson. Come on, Wi-Fi. I'm not even on Wi-Fi. I'm hardwired plugged in. What the fuck? Okay, it looks like it went away. But yeah, those shirts, it's like, how can you have both? Beef fat hates me. I can't argue with you. I can cook a good steak with flavor. So my wife, my technique. Okay. You can still cut off the fat and have flavor. There are ways around it. You guys talking steak cooking. Really don't care about religion, except that it's protected by the First Amendment. And I really like that one. Yeah. I think religion is important. It says, I'm not saying violent. I'm saying what their base beliefs are. There are groups of people mentioned in their book that are clearly earmarked for death. Yeah, you know what? Full disclosure, like I said, I haven't really read it, and you may indeed be right, and you may indeed have your right to say, you know what, I don't like that. You got, criticizing the culture. You have the right to be critical. I don't know enough to know. That's my thing. But but I mean, the Bible says, even though it says, the Most High will do it, but the Bible says most people on earth are going to be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? It just earmarks non-believers they're going to be destroyed. So I think that's kind of a part of the religious mythos. All non-believers will be destroyed in their own way. But again, the Bible at least says the Most High is supposed to do that, not us. Oh man, I had my gallbladder removed at 24 after passing a gallstone at 7. Holy shit. Liver floods me with bile when I eat beef, filet mignon sometimes. Haven't eaten prime rib in years. I'm sorry to hear that, red shirt. Yeah. Leave your religion and politics at the door. Everyone will get along just fine. Yeah, every religion has its extremists. Christianity, Catholicism, even Mormonism don't have that against the religion itself, unless it's Scientology. To be fair, Scientology was a pure grift. Pure grift. I think what you said there is the right attitude. People act like that in a bad way and are to be accused, but that doesn't mean every one of that religion is bad. Yeah, that's really the core of my point. Hopefully I'm making sense. Okay, Wookiee Lives Matter. I'll have a counterpoint to this. I have a problem trusting anyone who lives their lives by ancient fairy tale books written by primitives. So if that's what you think of religious text, what would lead you to trust somebody? Do you think, okay, this document that I am covering is a scientific document made by a nationally accredited, this is a Smithsonian Institute document. Smithsonian Institute, right? And hell, another monster. Good night, bro. Good night. But this is the Smithsonian Institute. This is education. This is the pinnacle of education, so to speak. What is corruptible? Now, religion's obviously corruptible, right? Everything's corruptible because anything that humans touch can be corrupted. It's the steak and potatoes line you guys are talking about. But if you're like, I get being don't trust anybody. That's something I have. But like, what do you believe in otherwise? Because again, I brought up the higher power thing. Why so many cultures, why most successful cultures, or all successful cultures, has some believe in a higher power. That's because there's a unifying element, and again, there's a faith element. But like, if not religion, do you put your faith in science, which you can see isn't always science? You put your faith in education, which you can see isn't always based upon knowledge. You see how corruptible those things can be in this modern culture. And you know what? There's nothing. Maybe your reply is, I don't trust anyone. That's fair. I have a lot of attitude in me. Because I mean, hey, I do believe in the Bible. Definitely do. Scientific in quotes. Science isn't science. Science is as much of a religion as anything. And so my only return is, what if you're not going to trust in spiritual books, which is your prerogative. And hey, I'm not God, so I couldn't tell you if you're wrong. I can tell you what I believe, but I couldn't tell you if you're wrong. Okay, put my faith in the tangible. What is now tangible? The only things that are tangible are things in front of you and the things in your life that you can't control. And on some level, there's something safe about putting your faith in that. Something safe about it. But yeah, we're human. Everything is corruptible. Yeah. Yeah. And Wiki Law says racist propaganda and pop culture republic is ducking out. And we're going to end the stream soon. Going to end the stream soon. Because I think the point is given. I'm gonna kind of skim through all of it because there's just too much stuff to go on. Wealth is worth. This is one of the few things I agree. Well, not agree with. I don't think wealth equals worth in general. I don't think your job is who you are. I don't think you should respect authority, but you should value ownership of goods, space, and property. That's some Marxism bullshit, right? But yeah, I think authority. If we've seen this past year how evil authority can be, I definitely think your worth should not be within your job or wealth, especially when our money system is so fucked. I think there's other things that make a human valuable. So this is one of the few parts of this document that are agreeable. But as far as heavy value on ownership, space, and good, more Marxism, more trying to destroy people's value on public property. You'll own nothing and like it. No delayed gratification. No planning for the future. No progress is better than perfection or is always better. No optimism. You can't be optimistic about tomorrow even. Let me see. Time. Scheduling, I guess colored people time. We're supposed to be late on everything. That's not racist at all. Time viewed as a commodity. It definitely is. I feel that's the most valuable commodity. I'm really getting the value of time. I really understand the value of it. I really want as much of it. I need more time for a lot of stuff I want to do. Aesthetics based upon European culture. I think women in general are beautiful of all cultures. Steak and potatoes, bland is best. As you guys talked about the steaks, that can be a lot. Even potatoes, a lot of seasoning for that. Women's beauty is based upon thin, blonde Barbie. So you got to show love to the fat hoes. This is just, body positivity. And you know what? Another part I agree in. Why is a man attracting this based upon his economic status and his power and his intellect? Why can't a dumb fat slob be thought of as attractive? A blind squirrel gets a nut every once in a while. I think I made the same joke a year ago. Or a version of this joke. But yeah, let's I'm trying to skim through it because I'm getting tired myself. Wookie lies. Optimism is Caucasian. LOL. I'm as black as you, VW. Well, Wookie. Yeah, great stream as always. We are wrapping up, but I'm going to get through this. I want to get through the rest of the document. Yeah, great stream as always. These are always awesome. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Scientists do not equal science. Scientific method equals science. It's a bit tricky thing. CRT uses ignorance and detail to say scientists is science. It's not just CRT. This is something that happened pre-CRT. This happened without us peeping it. This happened in the 90s, 80s, 70s, whatever, where we allowed a lot of things that are ascientific to be part of the normal conversation and the normal belief system. We allow anyone who tossed on glasses and had a bookcase behind them to appear like a doctor. And so anything they said is completely, bullshit. And so we talk, you're using the example of Fauci. It's also what the government do to trick you. But there have been people before this incident, before we had the Faucis of the world, who have portrayed a science. Remember Bill Nye, the science guy? He wasn't even a scientist. He doesn't even, now he's going against his own shit. But at least his stuff was more scientific back in the day. But we had a lot. The religion of science has been an impactful thing for a long time. Where when I say religion of science, I mean there's science that gets suppressed because it's against other scientific beliefs. There's science that gets suppressed, especially now when you have the cultural thing. It's more apparent now, but it predates this era. It predates the current woke era, where you have the politicization and the, like I said, religiousness of certain scientific beliefs relative to others. Again, great stream. Appreciate you being here, Wookie. Science is not only scientific method, it's the only way to believe science is to believe peer-reviewed research papers, for which Fauci never does. Yeah, because this whole thing was just about political control. He's a doctor that never practiced medicine, and this is a Wookie talking about he's as black as me because he's not as optimistic. Good news is I just heard about cholesterol dog that there's bile, and I'm going to ask my doc about it. Always, and go have a Wagyu steak for the first time in my life. Yeah, I hope you feel better about that. That sucks. Even if he did, any scientist has no right in promoting personal opinions. Anything not in research papers is truth. Unfortunately, that's been a part of the community again for years. You're probably a shade darker, as you sound like skinned it. Let me see. What works for you? Wagyu beef is the best. Awesome job, VW or VigilanteWilliamson. We're still going a little bit. I want to get through the last little bit. Oh no, it's okay rambling. I'm glad you're rambling because it keeps giving me something to talk about as people are starting to leave. Because yeah, I'm getting tired. I've gone 2 hours. Did not mean to go 2 hours. I thought this was going to be a short stream. I can never keep my mouth shut. I think it was a short stream. Then I hopped onto this, and it's had a lot. There's a lot to unpack with this shit. Thank you, sir, for the awesome stream. Bill Nye's an engineer, is not a scientist, and I think Wookie has the best. Bill Nye's a plumber. He's an actor that I think he may learn something about engineering. I'm not sure. A funny thing, there are engineers that use more science on a day-to-day basis than some scientists. Very true. Very true. Anyone's a scientist. Being a scientist is not a title. It's a description of someone who does the scientific method and is in no way tied to diplomas. I agree with that, Alexander. I agree. And I can attest to that personally. Mike Beats Dix says, keep talking, Vigilante Wayne. So I will keep talking for a little bit. I appreciate you being here, Mike Beats Dix. Appreciate you beating the dicks down. All right, so okay, we talked about aesthetics. All women are beautiful, and the one thing they have right, the one thing that we should demonize in this whole document: why is man attractiveness based completely on economic status? Even a blind squirrel can find a nut. Even a broke clock is right twice a day or once if it's digital. All right, based on Christian religions, holidays. Actually, they're based on pagan religions, like we could, they're not based on Christianity at all. So that's just incorrect. Based upon white history and male leaders. Yeah, just like Martin Luther King Day, obviously, based on white history. Okay. Justice based on the English common law. Cultural Marxism. You don't want to, it's so white privileged to protect people's property. Obviously. An intent. It is white privilege to think that your intent in something counts. What do they want from opposition for some of this shit? I wonder. As I kind of blitz through the rest of this bullshit documentation that is Smithsonian based. The Smithsonian Institute's National Museum of African American History and Culture create this. I guarantee you that there's nobody there my complexion or darker. They are all, and I'm a pretty light-skinned guy. They're all mixed at best, and Rachel Dolezal's more likely. A lot of Rachel Dolezal's and Sean King's work for the National Museum of African American History and Culture. A lot of Talcum X's, Martin Luther King's. I know it without seeing them. I just know there's a lot of fake black people who work there, and a lot of blue-haired motherfuckers. I can just tell by the way this shit is written. So competition is white privileged. Competition. I wonder, have they ever heard of Michael Jordan or Muhammad Ali? I wonder if the National Museum of African American History and Culture, I wonder if they've ever heard of Muhammad Ali. Like how in the fuck can you even make this statement with any legitimacy? with pro sports existing, that competition, that the want to be number one, win at all costs, lose the dichotomy. Now, if you're if anything, the Capri Sun generation, the Capri Sun soccer generation, that participation trophy generation, that's more, well, I would say suburban culture. That's more of a suburban thing, really not necessarily white and black. 30% of black people live in the suburbs. Even yours truly spent some time in the suburbs. Shout out to Southfield. Darius still here. And Oak Park. Didn't live in Royal Oak, but I wanted to. But yeah, like this is insane. Action orientation, master and control nature. Must always do something about a situation. So to want to improve your situation is white. Do you see how disarming? Because remember, it's not just all these things are white. All these things are bad. They're trying to get all of your children to hate themselves. They're trying to get all of your children to be so powerless and so victimized. Well, I can't do something about a situation. That's white privilege. Being extroverted and aggressive at all, and I'm an introvert, but that's ridiculous. Decision making. To make decisions is white privilege, according to the National Museum of African American History and Culture. And of course, democracy, because majority rules, which I'm not sure why this is under competition, but I had to put it somewhere. But majority rules when whites have power. So democracy itself is white privilege. Thank you. So is the King's English, which Lord knows I don't speak, written tradition, avoid conflict. So wait, am I supposed to avoid conflict or am I supposed? Oh, Jesus. Sorry about that. Avoid conflict or am I supposed to be aggressive? Which one is white supremacy? Let me know. National Museum, African American History and Culture by the Smithsonian. Don't show emotion. Don't discuss personal life. Be polite. So basic communication. So what? They want everyone to be a Twitter user? What do they want? What does the Smithsonian and this bullshit ass organization actually want for humans? What do they want? What do they want? Okay. So let's see what you guys are talking about, and then we will probably end the stream. So after Mike Beats Dix told me to keep talking, I went on and finished up the document. Just another red shirt says agree. I call myself a software engineer, but my degree's in physics. How about that? There's a third floor. That's a third floor single room division of the Smithsonian, more than likely. Men don't wear masks unless they're wrestling or in a band. Or a YouTuber. Hell, Mikey B's dicks. Yes, hell. And start with wanna be like Mike. Yeah, or any sport for that matter. Yeah, like most sports, especially American sports, are dominated by black people. And even if you're talking about baseball, there's a lot of Latin people in that. Boxing, same thing. A lot of actually boxing is pretty international because the British are pretty good. So I can't say anything about them as far as white boxers. Good American white boxers, but the British are really they're nice. Even though my man Callum just got fucked up by Canelo, which sucks. Even though Canelo's good, that's neither here nor there. For instance, if someone finds a cure for cancer and has no medical diploma, that person will be shunned by the usual scientific community and has been somewhat. Yes, that's a whole nother thing. Diverse from science. There are a lot of people who have treatments for cancer, and they have been shunned and suppressed, and even Arkansas-ed. Michael Jordan is responsible for Dolezal. She wanted to be like Mike. All religions are based on mythology in some fact, or mythology based on religions, depending on which direction. I'm not sure. These assholes ignore anything that messes with the orthodoxy of SJW. Absolutely. Science is a discipline is in great trouble. Very much so. Very much so. How many people in the U.S. actually speak the King's English? Not many. Funny thing is the founders had a horror of majority rule democracy. Well, I will say this. I mean, that's why you have the electoral colleges, right? Majority rule is a lot scarier now than it's ever been when you have the ability to brainwash millions and millions of people like you do. And you have the ability to suppress individuals who have opposing thoughts like you do. You have the ability to suppress somebody who doesn't agree with the narrative. But I would say democracy was destroyed when we had a bipartisan system, a two-party system. You're too white to have freedom of thought. Oh, Lord. Mike beats this. Yes, some great YouTubers wear masks. Yeah, Doomcock also wears masks. So this YouTuber's better than me. All right, this stream went 2 hours. I was not expecting it. We talked about everything from Kwame Brown to whatever the hell's going on here. Or here. This crazy ass document that was Smithsonian based. So don't trust your government or the scientific community. We had a lot of people here earlier. I know this has been a late stream and a lot of people have left. So I appreciate Just Another Red Shirt. He's not just another red shirt. He's the red shirt. Mike Beats Dix from the Dix Division. We got here a little late. New Bomb Turk. Alexander Vidovic, back from the dead. Wookiee Lives Matter, who we had a lot of conversation with. Really cool. Jens Peter, masculine as always. Who else showed up? I know Finra the Ice Wolf was here. Brightest Day was here. The Weight Down was here. I'm scrolling up in the chat. Pop Culture Republic's been here, a lot of it. He's been in and out, but he had to duck out, and I appreciate him being here. Another Monster's here. I'm not sure if he fell asleep. I know Fireball was here for a little bit just to show love while he was at a show. So a lot of people have shown up, came and gone. Ron Martin was here for a little bit just to say hi. Is anybody else in the stream? Oh yeah, how can I forget about the Nerd Porio Life Form? Blame my head, not my heart. Criticize with the crazed. Spoon. The Ginger Ninja was here. Sorry about that. The Ginger Ninja. Where's Ginger? Here's Ginger Ninja. Sassamatas was here for a little bit. A lot of people showed up. I think that's all I can do. So I can't remember everyone. Blame my head, not my heart. And I have to check my Discord DMs. I will do that. Let me see. Most of it is not majority rule, just those who bitch the loudest. Very true. A long time ago, Alex the Tocqueville, and I know I pronounced that name incorrectly, said democracy will last until it's 51% realize they can vote to pick the pockets of the other 49%. They really can. And that's what we have with the push for Marxism and the push for socialism and the push for tax the rich, which sucks for me because I actually now have the potential to be one of them. Now we want to tax the rich. Another thing that's come from Thomas Sowell's work is he talks about how people transition through economic brackets as they age. So you have a bunch of people who are younger right now, and they're all pro-socialism because they're broke. They're young, they're broke, they were lied to about college, and they spent all their money on they're in complete debt because of this college system. And they're fucking broke. And so Marxism and a lot of the socialism and communism sounds like the best thing smoking for them. But it's really not. It's really not. And they'll find out, unfortunately, the hard way. Hopefully we don't get to that point. But you're right about that. And greetings and goodbye, Mando Merc. I appreciate you being here. He's obviously the creator of this great logo. But we are actually leaving the stream. It's gone 2 hours and 15 minutes almost. 2 hours, 13 minutes. To be more specific, we covered a lot of topics. This is a casual stream. And I know a lot of people watch this playback. So if you like the video, you've gotten to all 2 hours, or you just watched a section, whatever the case may be. If you like the video, please like the video. I really appreciate that. If you're so obliged to share, subscribe. Remember, sharing is caring. And a lot of people are sharing the videos and sharing the streams, and it is helping, and it is appreciated. Please do so. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching, and thank you for your time. I appreciate all of you guys being here. Your taxes, R&D, bullshit. Taxation is theft. Flat tax, all other income is through trade. Yeah, I think, who had the best tax plan I ever heard was my man Herman Cain, 999. I would go 888 just to be straight, but I thought that was the best tax plan I ever heard. I wish more people would pick that up. But Biden says he shit all over the debt relief crap he was feeding the young leftists. Hey, even like I said, even a blind squirrel can find a nut. Even a broke clock is worth. That's how tired I am. Even a broke clock is right twice a day, and once if it's digital. Be seeing you. All right, peace, everyone.